Hey, what's going on, boss women? Energy still pumping and running high. So, I wanted to do a little video for you. Welcome to my home. In fact, welcome to my office. Have a look at this. This is currently my office. What the hell? Looks like somebody's vomited in here, right? So, actually, this is a Boss Woman order. So, those of you who don't know, I have Boss Woman clothing, like, I guess you could call it a Boss Woman clothing line. Basically, I just started out with some t-shirts, and now I've got some jumpers. I even bought a dress for myself, which I think I'll wear to my workshop on Saturday. And just heaps of stuff, right? So, I've got all the orders, all of my beautiful women who are waiting. I endeavor to get to the post office today and get them into the mail for you. So yay, you'll have them next week. And then have a look at this shit. This is literally all the notes. These are all the notes that I have taken during this 5-day challenge. I have so much information on a lot of people in this group, information for content, and then information for the people with the calls. Like my week, I love my office when it looks like this, right? Because it means that I'm changing lives and I'm impacting others and I'm doing my thing and I'm having a great time. What I wanted to do was just jump on and do you guys a little video actually. A video that is titled, How Eating Less Can Make You Just as Fat as Eating More. And this is a really interesting topic. So I thought I would get out my whiteboard because everyone that knows me knows that I love a freaking whiteboard. Oh, look, more stuff. Everyone knows I love a whiteboard and a good white marker. So I haven't set myself up properly because this is a very impromptu video. But I'm hoping that this setup will work well. Sometimes you just go with the flow, right? So I want to explain some things to you because there's a lot of you who are under eating, and I've seen your meal plans, and from knowledge, like, hey Helena, hey Amanda, hey Leslie. Thank you guys for joining me because I realize you're probably at work or something like that. So just make sure you do a hashtag replay so that I know that you watched this. It's a pretty exciting and enticing title, and I'm going to explain it to you. And I want to educate you on a couple of things that's really important for you to know, and every fucking female or male should know this in the whole entire world. And this is why diets frustrate me, why cookie cutter programs frustrate me, why there's trainers out there who just give the same shit, or coaches just give the same shit to everyone, and everyone's completely, utterly, totally different. So it's just, anyway, when you've been in the industry this long and you know all the information that you know when you see people who are just like freaking bullshitting their way through it and don't actually really care about the client, which really they shouldn't even be in the freaking business if they don't really care about the client. Like, you know, anyway, I won't go on about it, but that's that. Hey, Sandy, how's it going? So I'm going to draw some diagrams and I want to explain to you, I'm going to teach you about the nervous system in a really simplistic way. So I have had somebody once who's in my challenge have a go at me because I didn't use the right terminology. They actually knew in depth with the central nervous system. I do know in depth, but I want to talk to you in a way that you will understand and make it really simple so that you will remember. There's no point me using all this freaking medical jargon and information to teach you something when you don't really care. Like, you don't really need to know about the intricate details of what, you know, this blood vessel is called, and then what happens with this, and then what chemicals are released and whatever. If you do want to know it, then awesome. That's not for this video. So if you are very into details and that's your forte, amazing. Please know that I'm doing this in really simplistic terms. I just need to cover that off. All right. So I'm going to explain to you your central nervous system. All right. And is this going to work? Let me put it like this. Yes. Here we go. All right. So this is you. Right? This is you. This is your heart. This is your brain. Yep. And what I'm demonstrating to you is the central nervous system, but your autonomic nervous system. So when I say autonomic nervous system, what I mean is autonomic, automatic, is like how your body operates with you actually not needing to do anything about it. With you not needing to consciously think about, oh, I've got to go pick that up, or, oh, I'm running late, I should stress out now, right? Your body is conditioned in a particular way to react and respond to things. And then as we get older, so let me explain this. From the ages of 0 to 7, your brain is like a sponge, right? And you observe everything that you see around you, and you may, like, that internalizes and creates your, like, your blueprint, right? So your individualized blueprint, so how you operate in the world. You have a baseline blueprint, right? And you get that by observing the world around you. Okay? So, for example, if your mum and dad always fought when you were younger, right? You may take it on board that it's actually normal for parents to argue and fight and yell and scream all the time, because that's what you were exposed to at such a young age, right? Then from the ages of 7 to 14, that also goes for as well, like if your mum was always on a diet, mainly from the age of 7 to 14, but you're still observing the world. So you're taking on what you're seeing and you're making it mean something, right? Mostly it comes from your parents or your caretakers. So what happens from the age of 7 to 14, you're trying to find your way in the world. And this baseline blueprint that you got from the age of 0 to 7, like you're building on that. So you can imagine from that age when you're going into school and what kids are like, what you learn, what you get picked on for, what you get teased. Then you're also still observing your parents, right? So for a couple of you that have like food issues, the food issues in particular are definitely highly connected to emotions. And I'll talk about that on a different video because that's different to this. But what I want to explain to you is that from the ages of 7 to 14, you're still observing, you're taking it on, and you're building on your baseline blueprint. Hey, Valerie, how you going? So you're building on that, right? And then from the ages of 14 onwards, you're an adult, you're fending in the world yourself, and you start to have your own experiences which impact this blueprint, right? They impact it, but you already have a baseline set of beliefs, a baseline set of habits. You already have observed like 14 years worth of what a relationship looks like, how a family operates, how they talk, how they treat their body, what they do. And this is why, you know, I get pretty passionate when I work with parents, because you literally lead by example, but not by the way that you talk, from your actions and your behaviors and your habits. Like children watch you. They literally watch you, right? And everything that you're doing, they see. So they take that on board. So now I want you to imagine that you were that child or baby, right, from the ages of 0 to 7. You can imagine a little bit of what you saw. I don't know if you remember much. Then what happened from the ages of 7 to 14, and then from 14 to now, right? Think back on all those experiences. You'll be able to connect the dots on some of the things or why you have issues in particular realms. This is important to understand because, you know, a lot of the time we always grow up saying, I never want to be like my mum or my mother or my father, or, you know, God, I'm so like my mum, or I got those traits from my dad. Like that is why. That's not about the nervous system, but that's just like how you become your own human, right? And why you are the way that you are on a, I was talking about your conscious and your unconscious mind, and your unconscious is like on automation, exactly what I'm talking about with this. So when we're talking about your nervous system, when things fire off within you, literally, it's then most of the stuff is automatic. You only ever really consciously think about a very small percentage of your day. But for the most part, you know, you could literally, if it was an option, you could drive to work with your eyes closed, right? You would never do that, but like that's just an example. Have you ever found yourself like walking a particular way to go to somewhere because you're so used to going there, and then realize that you're not actually going there and you're walking in the wrong direction or something like that, right? Or you start doing something unconsciously and then you realize consciously that, oh, wow, I'm not meant to be doing that. Why am I doing this right now, right? This is like autonomic nervous system, right? It's just ingrained habits within you. So let me know if you're confused, if you have any questions or anything like that. Right, so we have this. We have your autonomic nervous system. There are two parts to it. And one is your sympathetic and one is your parasympathetic. But for simplicity terms, one is your rest and digest, which we all hopefully have heard of at some point. And the other one is your, sorry, I'm writing upside down, so this is not my normal writing, your fright and flight. Yep. So with these two, and I'm just making sure you can see, I probably should have done it side on, right? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Loj. So on your rest and digest side, you have muscle repair and growth. Oh, I can't do it like this, one sec. Muscle repair and growth, cellular repair and growth. You also have your sleep. I'll move it this way or I'll move it back. There we go. You have your sleep. And this is where digestion occurs. Woo! Digestion. I'm going to talk about this in a second. Let's move on to this side. So your fight and flight. Sorry, you cannot read that. On this side, this deals with stress. Right? Any kind of stress. We have emotional stress. We have physical stress, aka exercise, mental stress, so what's going on in your mind. What else do we have? We'll just leave it at that for now. I'll keep it real simple, right? So this side of your nervous system deals with stress. Hey Melissa, hey Alicia. This side of your I want you to watch it back to the start. If you're joining now, watch back to the start after I finish. So this part of your nervous system deals with stress, right? And stress can just simply come from thinking about something. You guys all know this. Like thinking about losing 20 kilos fucking stress people out, right? Deciding what food to eat or going to gym when they fucking hate it stresses people out. Then you've got financial stress. That's a huge one. Like relationship stress. So I mean relationship, family, children, partners, husbands, wives, whatever, doesn't matter, all relationship. You have all of these stresses that happen in your day-to-day life, right? Not even including the shit that goes on in your mind, right? Which creates a hell of a lot of this. Which is why I'm so passionate about mindset, right? Because you literally can stress yourself out if you just tell yourself a certain dialogue. If you change it, you can relax yourself. It takes a lot of discipline and practice to be able to do that and a fuck ton of self-awareness. So what do I want to explain to you here? So on this side, right? On your stressed side, what happens when you are stressed? Your body goes into, I'll use a different pen, color maybe. I don't know where I put them actually. Oh, here. Okay, so then on this side, your body goes into what's called survival mode. I'm going to call it. Right? So your body's a pretty smart cookie. And what will happen is if you're under stress, your body is like, hello, warning, like something shit is going on, something's happening. Let's go into operation fix it or operation like calm the fuck down. When your body's doing this, survival mode, right? Because your body likes to be in what's called homeostasis, which is an even balance. Your body likes to be in balance, like yin and yang, right? And it's called homeostasis. And when your body's in that state, it's quite relaxed, it's cool, calm, collected, knows what's going down, happy to, like, easy come, easy go, right? So when you're in survival mode and your warning bells are going off and they're going crazy, where's a red one? Here. What happens is this signals off, something in your brain. It's not actually your brain that it signals, but for the sake of this, right? It gives you a message. You've got your adrenal glands down here. Now, your adrenal glands are the control center to your entire hormonal system, right? And they produce hormones for the rest of your body, right? They produce estrogen, testosterone to your vagina, or reproductive system, I should call it. Sorry, I'm going real simple, right? To your thyroid, for your metabolism. Hey, Marika. Thyroid, metabolism, all your hormones, right? There's more than that. There's more than that in your endocrine system. But just for the simplex of this video, your warning bells are going off. You're in survival mode, right? It sends your brain goes, uh-oh, we're in trouble. Holy shit, we need to put this fire out. It'll send a message to your adrenals to produce a couple of different chemicals. And then what will happen is your adrenal glands will produce adrenaline. This is, and you guys will all know what I'm talking about here. When you get that, like, you're exhausted, but you can just push yourself through, right? 1 minute you're flat, but the next minute you can go hypo as hell, right? This is your adrenal glands doing some work for you and, giving you some energy, giving you some fuel because you're low on it, right? So your adrenal glands start pumping, working freaking harder. And then what happens is these sides can't work together. They do not work together. One side operates at a time. One side operates at a time. So when you're living in this land and your body's concerned that you're dying because it's in survival mode and it thinks that there's something really wrong, so it's going to try and, hey, Christy, how you going? Make sure you watch the whole video back when you finish on this. Your body literally sends off alerts and it's like, holy shit, what is happening? I think I'm dying. Save me, preserve me. I'm going to hold on to what I can because right now I'm on my way out and I want to survive, right? That is what is happening on your central nervous system with this. It then shuts down the other side. So, okay, we don't need to restore muscle mass. We don't need to worry about cellular health. We don't need to worry about sleep. We don't need to worry about digestion. We don't need to worry about that right now because right now we're under attack and a need to survive. Okay, why is all this important that I'm telling you this? And please, stay with me. Why is this important for me to tell you this? Because if you're a stress head and you live in this land, here, survival mode land, if you live in this side, you are not functioning properly because this side is not happening. It still happens. It just doesn't happen optimally or properly, right? This is why people have digestive issues. This is why we have sleep issues. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm stressed as fuck, the last thing I can do is freaking sleep because my mind's going a million miles an hour. And that is quite a unique art to be able to muster yourself out of that, right? It's taken me a very long time. I went through a period where I had insomnia for a series of 8 weeks where I did not sleep. I've burnt myself out a million times. Literally, this is what happens when you burn yourself out, right? Burnout. I am describing burnout. Yeah? So, what does this have to do with food and making you fat? Right. So, if you haven't already sort of clued on to where I'm going with it, when you're in survival mode, your body doesn't give a shit if you're fat and you want to lose 20 kilos. Your body doesn't care. Literally, does not care. It's under attack and its only job is to keep you alive. So it will send blood to your brain and your heart whilst it's, pumping the adrenalines, keeping you alive, fixing what it needs to so it can get back to balance. It's the only thing it cares about. So, when this is not happening, you get dysfunction, right? You get dysfunction in your body. So for some people, that's intolerances. Their stomach becomes megally sensitive. They're not hungry, so they lose their appetite, things like that, right? So if you're not eating properly and your body's in survival mode, do you really think your body is going to let go of the fat that you want to lose? No, it's not, right? And I'm going to put this down now. So I hope that makes sense. I love drawing diagrams. I always draw diagrams. It's my favorite thing. I'm so visual. It's not funny. In fact, it impacts my life so much. All right. So if your body's in survival mode, you're not going to easily lose fat, right? And this is where the problem is, because people think they need to do more and more and more and more and more all the time. That isn't necessarily the answer. So when I'm working with someone, when I'm working with you or someone, or my clients or anyone really, and I tell this information to almost everybody that I talk to, when you're living in that survival mode, your body is literally living in a state of stress. And when you go and smash it out at the gym and like start training for an hour every single day and you're eating fuck all food, do you think that's going to stress your body out more? Yes. So do you think it's wise to then go fucking smash out all this exercise at the gym when your body can't even cope with the amount of food that you're currently lacking in? So your body will hold on to what it can because it doesn't want to let it go. Because you've put it under a fuck ton of stress. And it doesn't want to let it go because it doesn't know how it's going to survive. Right? And if you're already eating in a deficit or not eating enough, your body is already under stress from not having enough fuel or energy to do what you're demanding it to do. Right? So this is why it is important that you are objective about where you're at, where you want to go, and you track and measure your shit. Right? And there is a smart way to do it. And there is a not smart way to do it, right? So the not smart way to do it is to go change 25,000 things at once. Those 25,000 things being, let's go get a diet from somebody, implement it into my life, whether you've checked whether or not it's actually going to suit your lifestyle, and then go hammer it at the gym 6 times a week, which is totally unsustainable for you. You might get there, but if you don't have the education and the knowledge behind it, what are you going to do after? Hey, Christy, how you going? Please go back to the start of this video and watch it. You'll love it. What are you going to do after? This is why education and knowledge is really important, right? You don't need to know everything. You don't need to know all the details. You don't even need to know the names of things. It's just a basic basic education on how your body operates and where you're currently sitting at, right? And then getting the markers, going from your starting point, building your way to where you want to be. And it's a process. I want to remind everybody on the live stream as well, you didn't get fat overnight. Right? When we're overweight or we've put on weight or, I use the word fat pretty loosely, right? I'm not attached to that. I'm not wrong, Christy. We'll do. I don't know what's going on there, but anyway, all Christies are welcome. Watch it all back. So I'm not attached to the word fat, right? But there are some people who are triggered or attached to the word fat that doesn't make them feel good, right? At the end of the day, if you can pull it off you, it's fat. Whether you're overweight or not overweight, it doesn't matter, right? But it's either muscle or it's fat or it's bone, right? Or it's water. So I'd always say it's either muscle or fat, right? You didn't get fat overnight. Like where your body is now is because of a series of choices and decisions that you made that weren't necessarily good for your body. Some of which were in your control, some of which were outside of your control. There's no point beating yourself up for where you are now, right? Because if you knew differently and you could go back in time, if you knew all the information that I'm teaching you in this 5 days, and if you work with me for longer and I teach you a shit ton more information about personally your body, right? and you walk away with a blueprint that you have that you can use every time you fall off the bandwagon, because believe it or not, you are going to fall off the bandwagon again. We're not perfect. We're humans. Life happens. If you, I just lost my knowledge then. In terms of, making a decision. So it's a series of decisions and choices that we make over a long period of time. But if you could go back in time with this information, you wouldn't necessarily make the same choices, because you would have had different education and different information. And this is what, this is why it's really important to have some compassion and love for yourself, and understanding that you didn't know this stuff prior. And yes, you might be uncomfortable in your body. Yes, you might be 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 kilos overweight. Doesn't matter. You can sit in a space and sook about it and keep focusing on the fact that, oh my God, I can't believe I let myself get this fat. Or, oh my God. And for those of you, actually, somebody asked me if I'd ever been fat. And I put on, it was 13 kilos in the space of a month once. And I also had a blood condition when I was 19, in which I put on 10 kilos like in under a month, because I had to go on a course of prednisolone. So I haven't been 20 kilos overweight, but I've definitely been like 13 kilos overweight. And then I have my other series of issues, which aren't necessarily overweight, but I had a series of like going underweight. I had an issue with, like, I've had millions of issues. Everyone has millions of issues. They're just dressed differently, right? It's like people who have issues like bulimia and anorexia, right? They have the same emotional issues as somebody who is like 30, 40, 50 kilos overweight. It's just in reverse, right? It's how they're perceiving it. And it's the story that they're giving it. And this is why, again, passionate about mindset, because like you can change that stuff. It's really, really cool. You can change your neural pathways and the associations you have with things. And that's amazing, right? So like back onto what I'm saying. So you didn't make these decisions overnight. And I know I've said this 5 times, but I feel like maybe everybody needs to hear this 5 times. It happened over a period of time. But you just woke up one day and you was like fucking fed up with it. You were sick of it. You're over it. You're done. I'm sick of being fat. I'm sick of being overweight. I'm sick of eating ice cream. I'm sick of being 100 kilos. I'm sick of being ugly. I'm sick of looking at myself in the mirror. Like, whatever it is that you're talking, like, it's whatever it is for you, right? But you just made a decision in one moment. Can you see my devil veins? They're coming out. I love them, actually. Here we go. Anyway, sorry, it was really prominent in my video. What do we got? Oh, hitting home here. Okay, awesome. Hitting nail on the head. Great. Awesome. I'm glad that you guys are resonating. If you have questions, please post your questions below. I'm happy to answer them for sure. I love talking about all of this stuff, and I don't actually know why I don't talk about it more on my actual personal page. I went through a thing where I was only doing mindset, and then, I was doing body, then mindset, and then, I don't know, now I just found my flow, I suppose. But nobody's seen what's happened in the background, right? In amongst like the last 12 months of my life and all the ups and downs and none of that, right? Which, I should wear a GoPro and show you what goes on in my actual day-to-day life. And then you would be like, so I'm totally normal. So when you make that decision in an instant, right? It's been an accumulation over a long period of time that you've been slowly gaining weight. You just don't realize it because it happens ever so subtly. Then what happens is you decide one day that you've had enough and you want change. And then you get pissy at yourself, at everyone around you, at your trainer, at your husband, at your children, right? You get pissy because you're not getting results fast enough. And then you got fucking social media that like, you only ever see the outskirts. So you only ever see the before and after. You never see what happened in between. you know, I have seen some trainers and coaches, like a transformation that was 12 months is literally like that was 12 months. I actually physically know that it was 12 months. And they put it up as a 3-month transformation, which is fucking bullshit. And I see this all the time. And this is why sometimes I have this love-hate relationship with social media, because it's not always like, it's not pretty. People have to dig up their dirt to work through that. And if you are carrying a lot of weight, if you're carrying an extra amount of fat, like if you're carrying a lot of extra fat, I will guarantee you it is not just got to do with your diet and training. Like it will have to do with emotional trauma that you have experienced or been through. It will have to do with how you were how you were taught, how you were grown up, right? What you saw as you were growing up, what you observed as a child, then what happened to you at school, like then your friends, and then what happens is we play a certain role, you know, like based on all of those things until we decide that actually, hold on, like, I don't want to be like this anymore. Like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to look like this anymore. You are waking the fuck up, by the way, when that happens. You are literally like, hold on. And that is an act of self-love. So I want to make this very, very clear to every single one of you that are watching this video. When you have a moment, an aha moment of awareness, that you're like, I don't want this for myself anymore and I want something different, that is an act of self-love. That is an act of like self-worth, self-allowing, self-deserving, right? But what happens is nobody sees it like that. Instead, what happens is you go look in the mirror and you're like, oh my fucking God, like you fat piece of shit. I can't believe that you let yourself get to this point. Oh my God. Then you know, you're a human and that makes you sad and upset. So then you go eat a biscuit because you've got some emotional attachment to eating sugar when you feel sad, which is why you want to change that from a neural pathway perspective. So then you go eat the biscuit and then you get even harder on yourself. You get even harder on yourself for then fucking it up. But you literally only made a decision 5 minutes ago that you wanted to change, and then you're expecting yourself to then be able to just change it like that. And then when you don't get results, you get fucking pissed off. They're not happening fast enough. I don't see change. What about the before and after photos on Instagram and Facebook? What about that 3-month transformation? Hello, different person, different history, different upbringing, different mentality. Who knows what they've been through? Comparison will kill you, by the way. Just an FYI. If you're going to compare yourself to other people, honestly, you might as well go bang your head against a brick wall, because that would be far more productive for your mind than actually comparing yourself to other people, right? I can see all these comments coming up. That's awesome. I'll come back to them in a second. So, and this is where being hard on yourself is really like taken to the extreme, and you're not, and there's not enough compassion and love for yourself to realize, you know what? Hey, like you've been operating like this for a really long time, Eliza, right? And now you want to change it, and you're not used to living your life like this. You're not used to making choices that support what you want now, because you've always been supporting the version of yourself that you were before. So let's take this easy. Let's work on it one by one. Let's get some help and some guidance and support. What do you need right now? Who do you need? What kind of environment do you need? What kind of music do you need? What do you think's required? Well, I know I've got to get some healthy food happening. I could look some recipes. I could get a coach. I could go into a Facebook group. I'm sure there's like 1,000,001 support groups on Facebook that don't cost money or whatever. I could try a program. So maybe you're not sure and you're not willing to invest in a coach. So you just go find like, you know, some $27 program. Might be a cookie cutter program, but it's a good place to start. right? Everybody has a process and a roadmap. Some people are ready to delve into it, right? I've got a couple of you already who've signed up for my 4-week intensive. I am going to open up 5 more spots. I'm going to be a little bit of a rebel. I know where I can fit them, so they're particular spots. So, you know, if you don't fit into the spot, it's not going to work. However, that doesn't mean that you can't jump on board once the other 5 have finished their 4 weeks, okay? So just private message me if that is you. I don't care if it's not, right? I'm literally giving you advice to go into a free, like, Facebook group that would support you with it, right? But you're not going to get the level of support that a coach will give you. It's about where you're at in your process. Like, where are you at for yourself? And if you're not if you're scared and you're not ready to do something, it's totally fine. Totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Have some compassion for yourself and understand that you'll do it when you're ready. Maybe you need to fall down 5 more times before you get back up. I don't know. Right? But stop being an asshole to yourself. Start understanding that this is bigger than just making a fucking decision. Right? The only way that it would be easy, just making a decision, is if I spent about an 8-hour period with you in a day and we like hacked and changed and maneuvered your neural pathways for fucking everything that's got to do with your body and your emotional attachments. It literally would probably take me about 8 hours to do that. And in fact, I'm doing my master's in NLP. Oh, I can't sit that way anymore. Ooh. I'm doing my master's in NLP at the end of the year. So excited. And part of... All right. I think that's like my cue to go almost. But I'm doing my master's in NLP at the end of the year. And actually what we do is 8-hour sessions. So I'm excited to see how much... how much that changes me and the difference. And you guys will see it, right? Because I'm, do my live streams, my videos all the time. Whatever you're seeing on looks so damn... Oh, my God. I bought it from Bunnings. Hey, I'm going to go off topic and then answer some questions. I've got to go because I've got another couple of calls. So, awesome. Me too next year. Oh, Chrissy, you're doing NLP. Have you done original NLP? And who did you do it with? I did mine with Paul Alicio. He is like fucking God. I love him. And he's got this like funky little sassy flavor. He's quite like, I don't know how to describe him. He's a very unique human and I love him to pieces. He's not big on, he's on social media, but he's not a huge, big guru kind of business stuff. He does his thing and it was amazing. Oh, with Paul. Fuck yeah. You know what I'm talking about. That's amazing. So here you go, Loj. I'm going to bring you onto my rug. Check it. Look at that. I got it from Bunnings. They had like a one-off, they were like samples or something. So it's not something they have all the time. Anyway, there's this like tiny little blue spot on it. And I think it was like $200, but they gave it to me for $100. And I was like, yeah, because they've got those ones at Kmart, but they're so freaking small. And I didn't want to buy 2 of them. And I've been looking for ages. So I asked the universe, help me out. I'm after a white rug. This is what I want to spend, blah, blah, blah. And then, I got it. And I absolutely love it. I sit on it all the time, even though I've got like my chair. I bought this beautiful chair and I never sit on it because I sit on the rug. All right, let me answer some questions and then I've got to go. God, I am just like loving talking. I love talking so much. If you haven't already noticed, I fucking love it. All right, we'll replay soon. Awesome, Marika. Hit the nail on the head and pendulum is ringing in my head. Time to reassess my foods. Yeah, awesome, right? Take your time, Samuela. If you're filling out your food tracker, you will already, everybody that is filling out your food tracker, I want you to please understand that when you read that yourself, you're going to see some shit. You're actually going to read that back and be like, damn, I didn't think I ate that many Tim Tams. Or, oh, wow, I didn't realize I was having like 15 coffees. And the woman who I'm talking about knows who I'm talking about on this live stream. I did that example for you, my love. And, you know, so you can get a lot just from doing it yourself. So if you're cool to do it yourself, do it yourself. And then if you need help after that, then get some help, right? Do what you can. Do what you can yourself. And see how you go. Test and measure. But stop being in such a hurry to get results, because they're not going to happen overnight. Like, if it took 10 years and then you realize that you put on 40 kilos, it's going to take you a year or so to get rid of it, right? And that's if shit doesn't happen in the meantime. So, you know, what's a couple of weeks with playing around some stuff? It's nothing in the scheme of things. Hitting home here. Awesome, Christy. Are you coming to the workshop, Christy? Because if you are, I'm going to hug you so hard. Samuel, I carry an emotion with me every time and I want to scream sometimes, and I know my weight is my worries. Yeah, it's something I have to work through. Yeah, so everything starts with your mind, Samuela, right? And it's not about having to work on it daily. It's about you're just choosing to focus on it because you want more for yourself. Lo J, I need help prepping my breakfast, lunches, and dinner, and I'm good with breakfast. Breakfasts are hard. Awesome, right? Do you actually need help prepping it? As in physically doing it, or just ideas? I'm posting up some food ideas, by the way. God, today is just flying. I will do it, I promise. Probably like, I don't know when. I'll do it today by 3 o'clock. I hate making commitments like that because then I'm like under pressure, and then I'm like got calls and stuff and I don't know how long they'll go and da-da-da. Anyway, I did it. So by 3. So true. Comes back to the mirror and actually looking at yourself, and your biggest challenge is seeing you and choosing to support yourself and taking the first step. It's okay and I am enough. Yeah, amazing. Hey, Erin, nice to join us. You're going to need to watch the video back. Amazing ideas mainly. Yeah, awesome. We'll keep an eye out for my post, Loj. And I want you to stop using the words breakfast. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, blah, blah, blah. It's just meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, meal 4. Right? It's just fuel. It's food for your body. I eat steak. I eat steak with spinach salad and nuts for breakfast. And I eat all the fat that's on the porterhouse steak. I have done for years. So have my clients, even my overweight clients. And there's actually like a method to that. And there's a huge benefit to eating the fat. I'm not going to go on to it because I really got to go. Now I need to pee. Anyway, and I need to calm down, clearly. All right. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for staying on the live stream. I really appreciate it. Post your comments below if you want them. I'll post up some food later, and have a lovely afternoon. Bye.